The tempo.
Two. Adjusting the levels. All right. We are here for another episode of the Tempo Show. Let me go ahead and turn off my man Internet James. Shout out Internet James, man. That goddamn song is a goddamn classic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my man Captain Bogus. Shout out Captain Big Ass Wild over here. My bad. Hey Joe, what was his name?
Wild Bill.
There we go. Wild Bill in the back, aka A1 Cameraman. We have another talented comedian coming through. My man be doing shows all over. I'm gonna let the man introduce himself. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what's going on? I'm my name Chris Rock.
Chris. Facts. Psych your mind. I wish like shit. It's like, man, I'm glad I got you on this motherfucker. Go ahead,
But I'm my name's Mychael, man. Comedian straight from out of Virginia. Just moved to DC. Moving up here trying to make moves. I'm just glad to be here.
And I'm glad to have you.
Have a conversation.
Hell yeah, man. This man is sheesh. You over here from Virginia? What part?
Richmond.
Oh,
Richmond,
wow.
Virginia.
Damn, so you don't know nothing about this DC shit.
Hell no.
This man don't know nothing about it.
Slowly learning. I heard y'all thugs. Well, I met one of y'all dudes on the street. I asked him if I was in the hood. He just started twerking.
What the? What the? Where was this at? This must have been around Rock Mafia.
This was on H.
I'm fucking with you. Don't kill me, please. I'm joking on my bad boss. Say, do not kill me. All right, don't kill me, please. God, nah, they some killers over there. I'm not messing with y'all, bro. They some killers.
What is it? 8th Street. 8th Street turns into Benning Road.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that's like, that's more like a strip now.
But like that joint would sneak up. But like if you new to the area, you on 8th Street in DC, and then you just keep going down. All of a sudden, you start seeing niggas and Chinese place and a rent center. Like
no bullshit. The more you come down 8th Street, then you get into Benning Road.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know you're in the hood. You cross Minnesota Avenue. Keep it on down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it on down. Go ahead, go up there by Simple City, Benning Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It gets a little tough around that joint, man.
Yeah.
I heard Richmond ain't no goddamn joke. I used to take the bus down that motherfucker from like when I was taking the bus down North Carolina for school and shit. We used to have little stops in Richmond, and Richmond was the only stop where it was just wild. Like the bus station had nothing. Empty vending machines, niggas all over the place. Like
that's Richmond though. Richmond is just country, man. It's country, and we don't really have much to do. We look forward to going to DC or to Virginia Beach. So it's just like you ain't got shit to do but be on Instagram in Richmond for real.
Facts, factoids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what the fuck? What made you come to DC?
DC is a bigger scene, man. A lot of legends came out of DC. Earthquake, Dave Chappelle. Wanda Sykes, just a lot of Martin Lawrence, a lot of good people. Tony Woods.
Yeah. So
I was like, man, why not come here and get in the trenches like they did and try to move up?
Yeah, man, I gotta respect it too, cause like, man, when you coming down here and then you jumping into the thug of the comedy clubs, like the real like deals.
Yeah.
The improv and shit, like that's the real deal for us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
DC Improv is not no joke. Like that joint, like you go in that joint, I don't care what you spent. You came in that bitch to laugh.
Right.
Not to support nobody.
Yeah.
Not to do nothing but laugh on this bitch.
It's definitely a good crowd. I ain't gonna lie though, people that's coming up, it's hard to get in clubs like that. It's a real grind and a lot of consistency. Consistency is the biggest thing. Like you just gotta be consistent with what you're doing, constantly hitting up people. They might not respond. You just gotta keep doing it over and over and just wait on your time.
So how do you get into like the improv? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you get yourself up in there? Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get connected or what? You gotta play. I know some of the joints, you gotta play the doorman for a little while or whatever the case may be.
The improv, man, I ain't gonna lie, I've been emailing them for over a year. So I just kept emailing. What I did though is like in the scene, the DC community scene, I just started doing real well. I came from Richmond, started doing real good at shows, then your name started to buzz. Right, and once the bookers start hearing your name, then that's when they'll bring you on to do the improv.
Yeah, no, that's lit. So how long have you been in the comedy thing? You know what I'm saying?
Almost 3 years. 3 years stand up comedy. Richmond, doing the Richmond Funny Bone. You familiar with that? Funny Bones?
I've heard of Funny Bone. Yeah.
That's like the Improv, but it's like down in Virginia. So just been doing those type of clubs, and just came back from the Apollo, and
Yeah. Tell us about that Apollo experience. Run that down for me.
Experience, man. You ain't realize you on a real show till you start seeing people get booed. Like I seen a nigga was yelling out Jesus in his rap song, and he got booed.
You should have known that was a non-starter, man.
Jesus couldn't save him.
Jesus couldn't save him. That's facts of this motherfucker. Jeez.
But it was a dope experience, man. Like when I was there, I couldn't believe it. It was one of them things like you seen on TV. You're like, yo, I'm here at the Apollo. Like you can't believe it. And it was just dope, man. I got second place, won a little pocket change, and the next day my cell phone was turned off. I ain't paid the bill, but I got that check.
We all been there. We all fucking been there. What made you go up to the Apollo? You just was like, I'm just gonna give it a shot. Like what made you go up that joint?
My homeboy Remo, he from Richmond, hit me up. He was like, yo, I'm going to audition for the Apollo. I was like, word, let me come up there. I ain't had nothing booked. So we went up there and we auditioned, and they called me back like 6 months later. It's like, hey, come back out and do a real show.
So, and I be wondering because, like, obviously, like, sometimes you're going to see certain artists that you be surprised that, like, how the fuck, like, how did they pass the audition? Or do they purposely is it like American Idol where they let other people slide? You know what I'm saying? Like, they like, I'm going to let you come through because I already know they going to tear your ass up.
Not for this one. Because, like, you got the difference between the Apollo TV and the regular Apollo. Regular Apollo, they just trying to put on a good show. But the TV, shows, they do purposely put on bad people for the ratings.
That's real.
Yeah.
It's a tough ass fucking crowd out there. That got to be the toughest shit, cause especially for the Apollo, like people just looking to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you got to think about it. People pay $22 to get into these shows. So if you pay $22 and somebody suck, you want to boo that motherfucker.
That's a fact. That's a motherfucking fact out this bitch. I couldn't even man, I'm telling you, I couldn't even motherfucking do that shit, man, at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe. Well, shit, because I used to rap back in the day, but.
What was your rapper name?
Matt Tempo.
Same
shit. Same shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I used to do a lot more battle rap than anything else.
Okay.
Let me hop on my man A1. A1, the charger is right there. Right there on the second shelf right there. There you go, right there. That's the joint, right there. There we go. We out there. We don't want our cameras cutting off in the middle of the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
That shit crazy. But yeah, man, I used to do the little battle rap shit. Like that used to be my shit on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Like, but I was actually pretty good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I won a little couple competitions. We used to have them at school and shit, and in the surrounding little North Carolina area and shit. So you
grew up in North Carolina?
Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? I just went down that motherfucker for school and shit.
College. What school did you go to?
UNCP, like University of North Carolina in Pembroke.
Okay.
So it's like in the middle of this reservation town. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Indians, like legit American Indians. Now you would think like they don't look like how you think that motherfucking Indians look. Like with the little the feather in their cap and all that other shit. What they really look like is like
Puerto Ricans.
There you go. How you know? How the fuck did you know? That's exactly what they look like.
I get them confused all the time.
Dog, that shit real, son. And they don't play. You know what's crazy is that it's a lot of racism down that bitch. We get especially the black people, we get it from both sides. The white people weren't fucking with us. The Native American people weren't fucking with us either. They ain't niggers, all of that. They spitting the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say all of them, but it was definitely a weird experience being down there for sure.
And what just the area you in too. I mean, well, first I believe in what Malcolm X said. The South is anything below the Canadian border. First of all, so I just think American in general is racist. But a lot of it, man, is based off what you see on TV, man. Like you start seeing black people in like a certain image, then people just start to, when they see black people, that's how they look at them, and they really look down on us for real.
Yeah, I mean it's rough, you know what I'm saying, and I was down there between like 2005 to 2010, so maybe it's different, You know what I'm saying? It might be different. I don't know, but
Donald Trump just got elected.
man, just this nigga been in there 2 years now. Even and I got mixed feelings on that whole thing because like. While I know that there's racism that does exist, I don't necessarily think that the world is like, let's say, this power struggle between fucking races. You know what I'm saying? I do think that while there's still all races, I think that there's multiple opportunities. Us that live in America, we got endless opportunities to make it out here. You know what I'm saying? And you could literally, it's all about perspective, because if you was born in Somalia, I don't give a fuck what type of comedian shit you thought that you was gonna get popping. Ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You grew up in China, grew up in whatever the fuck, like, you know, it just ain't gonna happen. So that's why, like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's all about perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, your life is up to you.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's up to you, and shit, it's motherfuckers. Like, I think the biggest thing that be holding us back for real is ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And our lack of accountability, a lack of us individually taking responsibility for our own lives.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that if we focused on that first, then the shit will come together. You know what I'm saying? Because if you looking for, number one, government and things of that nature wasn't designed to save us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was never designed. To be honest, it really wasn't designed to oppress anybody. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that the people in charge had oppressive mindsets. But governments in general aren't necessarily set up, unless they're like, you know, socialist communist regimes. You know, they're not necessarily set up to oppress, but they're not set up to make sure that your life is as great as it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's supposed to just give you the freedom to make of your life what you want it to be.
Okay.
That's my whole point of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I talk about that shit a lot.
No, I feel you. I feel like racism is just a distraction from what the real issue is. I think the real issue is wealth. I think because if you notice, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, like, they was talking about racism, they was cool, but as soon as they start talking about money, they died, bro.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that is the truth, though. I mean, there is a lot of truth to that, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I know for a fact, like, I be telling certain niggas, like, when sometimes I be driving the bus, and I be like, you know, niggas be talking big shit to me. Like I remember one time I had this one incident where I was driving, and allegedly, and you know what I'm saying? This dude just came up out of nowhere talking endless shit to me, and him and his man, I don't remember what they was mad at me about. But I was like, son, you see how, like, money rule the world, okay? So I could give, you see that's your man right here, right? That's your man? All right, cool. I give this man $1,000 right now to beat the fuck out you. And I looked at his man, I was like, you gonna take that? You just seen it in his eye. He ain't say nothing, but he was like, he was looking like, you got it? Because I beat the fuck out my man's right now, but you know 100. What I'm saying? So if you think about it, like, shit, like, motherfucker, you want to get in the way of the money, it ain't nothing for a nigga to come through and, you know what I'm saying, get you out the way. So yeah, man, like, I don't know, man, like, it's so much fucked up shit in the world. Like, that's why I think that, you know, the way to go about it is just to focus on yourself and to work as hard as you could possibly do to make a way for yourself and, you know, your family.
I agree with that.
That's valuable. So.
Quick question though. I just learned this. I want to make sure it's true. I was told that if you black and you get on the bus, you don't have to pay.
I mean, technically that's true, because it's not that if you're black you don't have to pay. It's just that if you don't feel like paying, we can't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do shit about it if you don't feel like paying for the bus. We can't
for real?
No, we can't. Oh, yeah, my bad. Let me pass my man Captain Bogus to Henny. Hey, look, Captain Bogus came through. He was deciding he didn't want to be bogus today, so he bought a Henny bottle. So we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But like, look, like, nobody pays, bro. And to keep it a real 1,000, keep it a real 1,000. The reality is that the Metro, and this goes in all the districts, they hemorrhage money out of driving the bus. Buses are incredibly expensive. They cost about $800,000 per bus. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't making no money off of the fare for the buses. That's why they don't give a shit about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they ain't really tripping over the fare and shit like that, because they really could give a shit less about it. The money that they really get is from the states, from people's taxes. You know what I'm saying? So like whether you're in New York or you're in Metro, you're getting subsidized by the government and the taxpayers. Those are the real motherfuckers who's paying for the bus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't give a fuck about this money for real, for real. That's why they don't want you to give a fuck about this money. But they can't make it seem like, you know, like it's just gonna be for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of politics in that shit. But I don't give a fuck, bro. Just go have a seat, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'd be good. Just don't start no shit. I'd be good.
Right.
I'd be driving that
I just found out. I didn't know that this whole time. I was like, yo, you need $2 to get on the bus, man. You black. You don't pay for no bus.
You supposed to, but but I mean, shit. I don't judge people who don't. You know what I'm saying?
These are reparations, okay.
But you know what I'm saying? You come across that bus driver that had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? He might talk some shit to you.
I seen that too. I seen a bus driver try to school like a little kid because he was like, "You better say thank you." I was like, "Damn!" He kicked the nigga off the bus for not saying thank you.
See, that's another thing with entitlement too, because sometimes you'll have bus drivers that think that, like, because they're in a certain situation that they get real like entitled from their position, like as if they're somehow better than other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
that shit is just like it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's kind of similar to a police job where it's like a lot of times you're interacting, you're on the front lines, right, of the poverty that's going on in particular situations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, because of that, you know what I'm saying, you get to see people that, you know, their attitudes be fucked up because they struggling.
Right.
And so they take it out on you because you're the first person they see. Are they going to go up to, just like when motherfuckers be having problems like, oh, McDonald's too expensive or whatever the fuck business is too expensive, do they go up to the corporate offices and be banging on their door? No. Those are people that control it. No, they want to fight the cash register that's making $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, 15, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. They attack the front lines because they're frustrated and they just want to lash out on whoever's right in front of them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, and experiencing that every day, if you don't have the right perspective, then it'll fuck you up. That's why I like talk about a lot about perspective, because, you know, if I was in positions a lot, like, I'm just dealing with bullshit every day, and I was like, that shit was just like people would just irritate the fuck out of me. Like, people coming in and give me 1,000 stories on why they don't got the, hey, look, man, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. All right, so I just came from baby mother house. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to fighting. I had to run from the police. I'm just trying to get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You don't got to tell me no big wild ass story. Just go have a seat.
I feel you. DC's filled with homeless people, man. It's kind of sad, but it's also annoying because, like, you see the same people every day asking for money, and it's like you on your way to work, and they asking you for money every day at the same time. Like, then you try to avoid them, and then they gonna call you out for trying to avoid them.
Oh no, you ain't gonna play me like that. Like, that's the whole thing. I remember I used to stay around Kent Line. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little joint in PG County, right outside the DC area, and that joint, you know, it's a hood around there. So at the gas station, for me, it's like, you know, because they're all the motherfuckers. If you go, and I stayed in Forestville too, like, that's another hood or whatever. Okay. And so, like, you, especially the younger dudes, it's a lot of motherfuckers who really don't, you know what I'm saying, who be struggling, and they ain't even trying to ask you for no bread. They be trying to do some type of work. Especially the young kids, man. That's why I don't go Monte, no Joe, no. Motherfucking, I don't go goddamn get some Mexicans when I need a job done. I go at the, hey, I give everybody $20 to come help me move this shit. What? $20? Hell yeah. They motherfucker putting couches on their back. You know what I'm saying? They ain't playing no games. But then you have a lot of motherfuckers, like when I was in Kentland, motherfucking, I was on my way from the gas station, going inside, and the nigga was like, hey, man, you think I can get 50 cents? I was like, all right. I'm going to see, because let me see the change when I get my shit. Respect. So as I'm at the counter, he opens the door, and he's like, hey, so what's up with that change? I was like, bitch, who the fuck you talking to? You got me screwed. Like you what, you gonna rob me for the change? Fuck out of here.
How he micromanage you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, where my money at? Like, don't that shit kill you? You be like,
that's
son,
just crazy,
what the
man.
Fuck, boy.
I had one lady, man. I'm trying to avoid her. I'm walking past her. She tried to make me feel guilty, talking about, oh, I wasn't gonna ask you for money. I was gonna ask you, can I buy a cigarette from you? I'm like, you asking the wrong question. You should be asking who's hiring. Like, what the hell are you asking questions?
I mean, but you know, it's tough. It's tough in certain situations because shit. If you ain't got no place to stay, if you don't have no means to get to work, if you ain't got no clothes to wear to get to work, You know what I'm saying? Like, then, you know, even applying for a job really don't really make that much sense. Because, look, at the end, and it's fucked up because, like, they talk about that with what's the name? Jordan Peterson talks about that, like, because he'd be like, you know, when you got some money, it's relatively easy to get some more. But when you have nothing, it's hard to just get some. You know what I'm saying?
This is where I disagree. Because I was just talking to a dude the other day that was kind of homeless for a little bit. DC has programs for you where you can stay and they will try to help you get a job, give you free educations if you have nothing. Like DC has a lot of programs. Maryland has a lot of programs. If you really want to get back on track. But some people, they just want to stand out there, ask for change, and have their freedom.
That's true. Now, this is the thing where two things can be true. And because I'm from DC, and I know I grew up and had endless people, dated girls that was in situations. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. If you're a woman and you have kids, then DC is really set up to help you out.
Oh, the world is.
Program. The world is right. Now, if you're a man, there are very little programs that are going to help you out. And like that are going to help you out as far as getting housing, as far as getting jobs. Now there are some, but if you look at the ratio of people that are unemployed versus the amount of jobs and the amount of jobs available for people with that, you know what I'm saying, for people with that that amount of experience and, like, let's say lack of credentials, you know what I'm saying, there's a limited amount of jobs that you can get. You know what I'm saying? And so in order for you to even be able to sustain yourself, you know, you need to get some type of trade. And if you don't have that, then you're in this limbo where it's like the only thing you could really apply for is like restaurant jobs, just really low level jobs that everybody's fighting for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a complicated matter, and we really don't know what to do about it.
Well, I mean, if you're a dude with no job, for real, what you need to do, this is how you can be successful. First of all, you need to find you a low self-esteem woman that got her own place, her own job.
That's a clip. That's a clip. It's like, it might be. It might be.
You will be good, man. That's all you need to do, man. Get on Tinder, get on Bumble. Man. Find you somebody that need help.
Man, and need help in what? Oh, it's the only thing you got to offer is dick. What else you got to offer? You just said like
dick and conversation.
Dick and conversation. Sometimes it'll carry a long way, but just imagine if you're attractive. What if you're attractive? What if you're unattractive?
Oh, it's somebody
what if you're
for everybody.
Come on, man. Keep it a buck.
Come on, there's women out here that's trying to date men in prison for the first time.
Are they attractive? No homo, but like the men tend to be attractive. They're not just gonna fuck with an ugly nigga in jail. Facts. Yeah. Why? No, there's a plethora of men that you can choose from.
You do have a good point. You do have a good point. You do have to be somewhat attractive.
There you go. And how many people are attractive on that? You got to be above average. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm speaking that as an ugly nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and it's fucked up because on the other side, right? On the other side, if you a nigga, right? If you a girl, it really doesn't matter how much status you claim, how financially, you know, how high your wealth status is. We tend to not really, if you're unattractive, you're pretty much unattractive, and no amount of money is gonna make a nigga say, you know, I mean, well, there's amount of money that'll make a nigga fuck with you, but you still won't be attractive in his eyes.
Well, I mean, if you're a female, you got to at least be like Jill Scott. Like, if you can do the Jill Scott.
And everybody ain't Jill Scott. That's what I'm saying. But like that. But listen what I'm saying though. So check out. So if you're a man though, and this is how we have an advantage, we gotta admit it. If we just get some money and get, like, if you a dude, you got a car, you got a stable income, and you have a home, you should have no issues finding females out here. But for women,
hold on. You saying it's easier for a dude to get women than a woman to get a dude?
If this criteria, if you have this criteria, if you have your own place, your own car, and stable income, it's difficult to find a woman. You may not be able to get the best of the best, but you can't find some.
No, I'm not saying it's difficult.
That's what I'm saying. It's not difficult, but even for a woman, right? For a woman who is stable, who is financially, you know, who is financially successful, it's hard for her to find a man. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I would say so, absolutely.
Man, a female...
Especially if she like if I'm an ugly nigga, I could be ugly as shit. And if I got money, I'm gonna be straight.
Right.
If you an ugly girl, you know, you kind of screwed.
I think you underestimating vagina.
Fair enough, but we're talking about like relationships.
No, I'm just talking about...
A girl can find anybody to, like any nigga fuck. But that's not, ain't there no nigga gonna stay around.
We all got homeboys that date ugly girls. And we ain't gonna tell them. We all got homeboys, cousins, brothers, maybe a daddy. That date ugly girl, yo.
That's true, but it's always other factors in that though, because especially for a nigga that like I done had my share of pretty girls, you know what I'm saying? I done had my share of, you know.
Black China's ugly as hell, bro.
She ugly as fuck.
And
but only after the surgery, though. She was... Joe, am I lying? You remember the original pictures of Black China when she was like 17, 18, young? Before all the surgery? Bad. She was bad as fuck. Now she got all the surgery. Now she look like a cartoon character. You know what I'm saying? Character. And that's another thing. That brings me to another good point. Fucking... The shit that be blowing me, bruh, is that girls be out here getting surgery, bruh. And for me, if you, I can't judge whether you're, if I have to judge more on of a look, whether you're a tranny or you just had surgery, then I'm just not even going to try.
Black China do look like she could be.
A lot of women do. A lot of women do. Like you talk about like, what the fuck is it? What's that girl? You watch Love and Hip Hop?
Nah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. It's the dude A1. A1 is the dude with blonde dreads. He got this girl that had endless surgery. She ugly-ish. She looked like she could be a tranny to me, but niggas goose over that though. And I be like, what the fuck? Like, it's too much. But then there's a lot of dudes out here fucking trannies, man. Fucked up, man. Man, did you see that? Did you hear about fucking Young Buck?
Doing the trannies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Son, this man got caught on the motherfucking... I showed Monte that when we was going... We had a show. I showed Monte that shit. This nigga got caught on the motherfucking jump arguing with the bitch. Like, I told you was gonna get the money, bitch. She was like, I don't trust you. I was like, oh my God, boy. She caught your shit red-handed. You had niggas like Bobby Valentino running out the goddamn hotel room as soon as she put the camera on him. In his drawers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, so niggas out here fucking trannies, man. That shit is...
Oh, hell yeah. Certain countries, man, it's like, it's a status. It's a status. Culture. Like, if you make a certain amount of money, like...
That's Thailand, right? Or is it Singapore? It's one of those, right?
I forgot, but like, if you make a certain amount of money and you fucking trannies, like, that's a status. Like, that's what you do.
What?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Only in America, it's kind of like, it's frowned upon against.
Well, I guess because it's like, you know, America, not just America, but people are full of contradictions, right? Because, and I'm not advocating this, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Tim is for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? But, like, this, you know, it is weird how, like, we allow, when girls decide they want to fuck with girls, kiss girls, have sexual encounters with girls, we still consider them to be, like, we don't, like, maybe they bisexual, right? We could call them bisexual, right? But ain't no nigga bisexual. You just gay. Right? Am I tripping? Ain't no nigga bisexual. Like you fuck with a dude, you gay. You could have fucked with a dude one time in your whole life.
Yeah.
You're gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there are certain contradictions that we have, but I mean, shit.
That's true.
I guess it, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Cause I mean, shit. Like girls be acting like the world is so against them, and like it's such a struggle. And I'm like, son, it's a struggle for everybody. Fuck you talking about? Like, what the fuck? Like, number one, men have to pursue you, so we have to deal with rejection, right? No matter who you are, you have to deal with a certain amount of rejection.
Right.
Then on top of that, you oh man, it's just women could do so many things. Like they have so many advantages, especially socially and verbally, on us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the ones trying to pursue them. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that shit for granted. You know what I'm saying? And they always talk, well, men have all the advantages in the world. And that's why I don't even believe in it. Like, not the gender gap, the gender pay gap is bullshit, right? Like, that shit is bullshit. And I'll tell you why it's bullshit. Number one, they said women make 70-something cents to the dollar a man makes. Number one, that's just a blanket thing. That doesn't take into account that women have babies. They work less hours. They work less dangerous jobs as well. Do you see any women out? You see that little show where they crab fishing on the goddamn boat? Motherfucking the waves in the Alaskan Ocean, bro. These niggas out here just fishing for crab. Motherfucking like you see any women out here doing that? Fuck no. You see women out here fucking like even in the military, right? You gonna have women in the military, but who the motherfuckers in on the front lines? Do. You know what I'm saying? Who have been the people that have disproportionately died from? Oh yeah, gotcha, bro. But who are the people that disproportionately die from war? Who are the people that number one, they talk about men being at the top, but that's a small percentage of men. Who out of homeless motherfuckers and people who are struggling right here, who dominates that gap at the bottom? Men do. We're the ones that don't have these social blankets and shit. Right. We don't like when you fucked up as a nigga, son. Joe, Monte, me, like when you fucked up, guess what? Ain't nobody shed no tear for you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives two shits about whether what's going on with you, how your feelings are, how you struggling, how you can't find no place to sleep.
Yeah, I think
get it together, bruh.
I see what you're saying.
Get it together.
But I think it's context. It's like I feel like people don't look in context and things when they have a debate and stuff like with the women thing. We make more money than them, like you're saying, with the jobs and stuff like that. They don't really look at why is this. Just like they talking
That's
about
true.
Women, the WNBA should be making the same as the NBA. Like who the fuck watches the WNBA?
Who gives a shit? If I want, like, no hate. We're not gonna hate, right? Fundamentals is on point, but the fact of the matter is, it's competition. Number one, all us men can't just jump into the into the NBA. We just can't because we don't have the abilities that some of these dudes do. And the same thing with WNBA. I'm sorry, the product isn't the same. You're doing layups. The best female, they call Brittany Griner. Oh, she's a girl that dunks. Yeah, she dunks for a girl.
But not even that. Like
it's that.
Besides the skill part, it's just
it's a
numbers thing. Yeah, to me, it's just the numbers. Like if you don't have the certain amount of viewership, you're not gonna make a certain amount of money.
Right. And why do you not have the viewership? Because the product is not the same. Now, the WNBA is to me is a bad analogy because I could watch women MMA. I watch women MMA. Cyborg is a fucking.
Is that good?
Oh man, they not playing no games. They're not playing. I could watch women's tennis is way more interesting to me than men's tennis.
Oh, you know what be popping though?
What?
The volleyball.
Volleyball.
Women's volleyball. You never heard about men's volleyball.
But I don't give two shits about men's volleyball, and I don't give a fuck what. But even when you're watching the product, take away that the women in volleyball are just beautiful Amazons. Just beautiful Amazons. I don't give. They be 6'2" with a big old donk. With a big old fucking donk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about volleyball that makes them fucking thick as shit, but whatever. But even if you take away the attractiveness, take away the sexual element.
We're not gonna have no female viewership, though.
I don't got none as of now. I be looking at my goddamn shit. I be like, damn, son, 67%, man. It is what it is, though. But I'm out here for the ladies too, man. I had the ladies on too. But like, look, even with volleyball, I can't tell the difference. Like when it comes to the spiking, them girls be going hard, bing, smacking that joint on top of a girl nugget, whop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Coming out of bounds, doing this, bing, getting them out the way. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell the difference in the product. That's why I would rather watch. Like, if girls was doing high flying dunks and banging on people with the ferociousness, and they look good and had thickness, you think the NBA would be able to compete with that? No. If fucking I don't even know if not Diana Taurasi. I mean, Diana Taurasi, she's a beast, but she's not that good looking. Candace Parker. If Candace Parker was just jumping out the gym and banging on people, whop, doing all that, and she looked good, I'm watching the WNBA.
Right,
but the product isn't the same. And so that's why it's like certain things that are more athletically taxing, I think that people just, you know, it's just a meritocracy part. Like, look, motherfuckers just are more interested in watching that. And I'm going to tell you like this. They need to get that goddamn girls football league popping. Because, hey, you seen it? I could watch that. Because you can't, like, It's this one girl. I don't even know her name, son. But who that lingerie football joint? But they got this one girl where she be in there running bitches over, bing, boom, like real trucks that look like it. But she thick is all get out too. That's what I'm saying. So it's all about product, man. You can't just look at the thing and say, this is how people do, though. They'll be like, it's not 50-50, so there must be oppression, right? Mm-hmm. It ain't 50. Women don't make the same money that men make, so it must be a patriarchy, which is bullshit, right? Because they don't use that same standard when it comes to things that benefit them, right? So number one, black women are educated at 3 times the rate that black men are. Mm-hmm. They make more money than black men do, right? Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the healthcare field is dominated by women. 75% women. The educational field is dominated by women. Women are going to college at a high rate. We want to change that back now too? We want to get that back 50-50? Let's fight for that, right? See, but no, ain't nobody going to talk about fighting for that, right? Because it's like, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not consistent. And that's my whole thing. Like, if nobody can spit bullshit to me, and if it's not intellectually consistent, I can't fuck with it, right?
Yeah. And for me, I'm a race person. I don't like to be separated by gender. I feel like that's the issue that we having right now, especially with a lot of black women. They doing this whole feminist stuff, and it's like, it's cool, but we need to worry about our black issues before we even do the gender stuff. Because white women, if you want to be real, they've been all right. They've been cool, man.
That's a fact. But and then even like, and to piggyback off of that, like, at the end of the day, like, it's so funny how we always end up switching up the issues. Like they use, especially when it comes to black men, like they use us because we're the ones that are really being disenfranchised, and then it's like, then they'll use our rhetoric to promote their own agenda. So for example, right, you'll have Black Lives Matter that started out because black men were getting killed by the police, right? Mm-hmm. Now Black Lives Matter is about the LGBT and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They talking about, they had a list on their website at one point where they was talking about, we're for this,
you have to do
that. But even and they ain't mentioned nothing about black men.
You have to do that. I disagree with it, but you have to, because you look at the women's movement. The women's movement is so powerful because it includes all the races of women. The Black Lives Matter doesn't include white people. So we have to find some type of way to include other people to make our movement bigger and stronger.
Fair. But then if you're trying to include all people, then it should have been All Lives Matter from the beginning, right?
All Lives Matter should have been invented during slavery.
I mean, fair enough. But, and I'm gonna throw this rebuttal in because, as these guys know, I'm a big history buff. And one thing that about slavery is that, you know, if anybody knows history, like, slavery has been a constant way before colonialism. That's just a fact. Yeah. Like, and people ignore that. Like, look, that's how humans interacted. We gather, all our men are strong. We're going to travel to different places. We're going to conquer them. We're going to enslave the people that are there. And that's how we'll move. Right. That's how we'll spread our culture. It's fucked up, but that's how it is. I mean, and everybody has ruled at some point. You can go back to, number one, like, let's talk about, like, people like, and this is the part that kills me. Who invented the slave trade?
I'm not sure.
Black people did, right? People we consider black. The Ottoman Empire, right? Which were black people, Middle Eastern people, but they look like us. Okay. Essentially, back in that day. From 600 AD to roughly about 1200 AD. You know what I'm saying? They ran the world, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And they ran everything. And so they created the economic system of slavery. You know what I'm saying? But we can't mention that, right? It's like when we're talking about black things, we got to talk about, like, well, imperialism and colonialism was the people that started. The Spanish and the Brits were the people that started the white people started slavery, and they or some people argue, oh, they were way more vicious with it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, vicious with it? Let's talk about the king of all enslavers, fucking Genghis Khan. Niggas talk about Hitler, but motherfuckers be talking about Genghis Khan, motherfucker. He ain't even have no rules. His rule was, when I come to your town, right, just understand, all right, Joe, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in this, all these men in this room right now, you die. We gonna kill you because you in the way. And all the women, we just gonna take them as sex slaves. And that's it. And they did that everywhere they went. That was the rule. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they did that. They did that so much, and they destroyed and burned like different tribes and cultures across Eastern Asia. I mean, across Western and Eastern Asia, going all the way to Europe, or at least what was Europe back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they fucked up the carbon footprint of human history. Like their civilizations will never know about because of those people.
Okay.
So, but that doesn't mean that I'm shifting blame to this, and that. It just gives us an overall perspective of, look, it's in all of our nature to take advantage, to subjugate, to oppress. You know what I'm saying? So if we understand that about ourselves, then let's focus on. Let's not focus on, oh, well, we need to get this right, we need to get that. Let's just focus on, let's try to make things as equal and as beneficial for everybody as we possibly can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some people going to be left out in the dust because, look, at the end of the day, right, look, 10% of the population, right, has an IQ under the under 85, right? So, and that's borderline mentally challenged. So it's like, what are you going to do with those people? We talk about, like, the unemployment rate. What are we going to do with people that literally can't learn? Like, even the military doesn't have a place for you because you can't pick up certain concepts. You're not smart enough to pick up certain concepts. So what do we do with those type of people? How do we create a system that they can flourish and everybody else can flourish? How do we do that? We don't know. And so we're trying to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But everybody just assumes that they're just right. That's my problem. Like, I'm not saying that I'm right. I could be wrong about all the things that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But but I'm open. If you can give me an argument that you can clearly define and is intellectually consistent, I can change my mind.
Right.
People like get so entrenched in their beliefs that they can't even change their fucking mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
People don't listen anymore.
Man, no. So let's get back to this comedy shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We got deep, man. This when you got black people, man, we gotta talk about race. Like,
we gotta talk about everything. Yeah, that's a fact, man. You know.
Have you ever noticed that with black people, you always talk about slavery's gonna come
up. It is gonna come
white
up.
People fucked you over. Niggas ain't doing shit.
I can understand, bro. And look, I feel for certain white people because, like, so at the end of the day, you can be posted up with black. You already know what's coming up. Like, be like, all right, cuz I understand. Like, look, I was born in 1984. You know what I'm saying? I don't like exactly. My parents, and it's the thing about it. Like, when they talk about privilege, right? Because, like, is white privilege real? Well, in the concept that we're thinking about it, like, to me, it's very muddy because, yes, white privilege is real. Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. But there's also attractive privilege, health privilege. There's many privileges. Guess what? If I look better than you, people are going to fuck with me more than they fuck with you.
Right.
Is that fair? No, that's a privilege that I have. How am I supposed to pay for it?
But white privilege was created though, cause, like, you know, one thing I hate is when black people we hate to make white people feel uncomfortable. Like I was at a show with my homeboy, and like we were coming down the elevator. We in the elevator. He's a black dude. I'm a black dude. We sitting there. White lady comes on the elevator. He starts to tell the white lady, like, "Hey, we comedians. We got a show and stuff like that." And I knew he did that just because she was a white lady and he was trying to ease the situation. And he didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But we live in a world that's white privilege. We have to make sure they don't feel uncomfortable.
Fair enough. Now I'll be devil's advocate to the situation too, because at the same time, right? Let's say we're all grouped together as a community. Like, let's say, for example, a white person comes down to the basketball court, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain situations where we'll be like, hey, look, like, especially a white boy, he gonna have on his Lakers jersey, Lakers shorts, Lakers socks, and the Kobe's. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we're gonna be like, this nigga can't ball, bro. Like, who gonna pick this nigga, son? Ain't nobody about to pick this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's multiple situations in which, is it majority? It's hard to define. Is it majority privilege? Is it white privilege? It's hard to say.
Then what do you call this? Let me get your opinion on this. This is something I really hate, and it bothers me too. It's like, you'll have two people that do the same thing. Say they both singers, right? Black dude, he's a singer. He's good. He's not great. He's good. black people hear him, they be like, all right, he's okay. I heard better and stuff like that. White dude comes along, he's not good, but he's just okay,
Right.
and he sings. They be like, wow, this white boy can sing, and they just like start praising him, like he's the shit, just because he's white. Like,
Bruno Mars.
why do black people? Why do we do that?
I do think that it stems back from slavery. Like as far as like we were taught, like there are still remnants of slavery, and this is why we have to bring up slavery, because there are still remnants of slavery that we still deal with today. We were taught to hate ourselves. Number one, the men were emasculated. You know what I'm saying? You talk about with the gay slave owners that were literally raping the biggest male, right? Purposely to show all the other males and women that I'm in control. You get what I'm saying? And so, and then he like they was making motherfucking like sons have. I mean, and they was breeding us so that like family members were having sex with each other and things of that nature, and it was just like, so we still deal with a lot of the remnants of that. So we tend to still like look at ourselves as if we're lesser. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, but then like I'm saying, like that's why the world is so complicated, because even saying that, like, look, we do understand that most motherfuckers having slaves was a rich privilege, right? Most white people during that time didn't have slaves. You had to be rich. Right. Everybody didn't have slaves. Matter of fact, slaves would be like having a Bugatti. Slaves would, by today's standards, slaves would be like having a Jaguar, like one of these new Jaguars. It's 90,000, right? You see them out on the road, but nobody got one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, nobody so that lets you know that even.
But slavery never ended. Slavery just changed its name to prison.
Slavery just changed its name to prison. There is some truth to that. There is definitely some truth to that. You know what I'm saying? This is where it gets so complicated, because like there's an element of it where it's like you have the private prison system, and there's an economic incentive to incarcerate as many people as possible, right? But then we're also talking about the people who commit these crimes as well. You know what I'm saying? And we can't deny the fact that us black motherfuckers are the ones that are committing these crimes on a higher scale. Maybe not the whole, but at a higher scale than other people. You know
are we really?
That's a fact. That's just a fact.
Two things.
Now you can say why. You can say that because we're economically disenfranchised, and so you're gonna, anywhere you find somebody, it don't matter whether they Chinese or whatever. You find a poor population, you're gonna find crime, right? Because people are gonna try to get it however they can get it. You know what I'm saying? So you can say why, but you can't deny the fact that we are the ones committing the crimes at a higher rate than other people.
But are we really committing the crimes? How many people are in jail who really didn't commit the crime that got framed?
I mean, all right. So what? All right. What do you think it is? Do you think that 60% of the people that commit crimes are innocent of those crimes?
I think
what's the ratio that you would have?
The reason why 60%, first of all, is because like the crack era, how they were incarcerating more black people for crack, and then white people that was doing cocaine. So you got a lot of people. Did you watch that 13th documentary on Netflix?
Sure did.
Yeah, that was very insightful.
It is. It is.
A lot of it, I think, also too. Some of it is with the ripple effect of slavery. I think that affects black people. Reason why we also commit crime, but I think that we just get charged at higher rates than other people.
And that's the truth too. That's the truth.
And you know what's also crazy is how like you might get charged with something, and you might be in jail for 3 years waiting on your trial, and then your charges get dropped.
Yeah. And then just imagine being in jail for 3 years, learning that if I do anything for 3 years, I'm gonna be swift at it.
Right.
You know, if all I do is work out and learn how to commit more crimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're creating, and that's why they're saying like we do need prison reform. And then even with our prison reform, it's like it's fucked up because like, you know, the way our jail system is set, it's not set up to make you a better person. It's set up to make you a worse person.
But let's talk about this too. Let's talk about the drug thing. Most people got into prison jail because of drugs. Now that white people are getting addicted to pills, they like, oh, we don't need to send them to jail. They need help. mental health. Like, come on, dog. Like,
That is true.
that's a slap in the face right there.
And there are a lot of double standards. But I'm gonna ask you this. So what do you think about? All right, so President Trump, right, has just passed prison reform that lowers sentences and gives judge and is reducing federal mandatory minimums for judge, like reducing these mandatory minimums so that people who have drug charges aren't getting, you know what I'm saying, don't have to serve these lengthy terms. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Two things. First of all, he's doing that because white people are getting hooked on drugs now. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Got to take care of white people.
Okay.
Second thing is the big business is about to be into now is the probation and parole. That's where the money they about to start making now. So I'm not really.
What do you base that on though? What do you base that on? Because if there's going to be less people if there are going to be less people that are going to be on probation based off of new legislation, how do you base that on the fact that, like, how do you coincide that, like, because obviously probation, people that are in the probation business, that's going to go down, right? That's not a good thing for your market. So how does that benefit them?
Hold on, you saying I thought the probation, so they're getting less sentence when actually locked up, right? So
right. I haven't looked deep into the legislation, so I'm not gonna act like I'm truly educated on it. I haven't read the whole bill.
So in most cases, if you don't do your whole time, you get on either probation or parole. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure with that, there's some type of way that they're gonna make money, either with an ankle bracelet or you gotta check in with your parole officer. There's going to be some type of way that you still have to check in with somebody or they come check on you in order to make sure you're meeting the guidelines, which is it's still making money in some type of way because you got to make sure these people get paid for doing their job as a probation officer or a parole officer. Mm-hmm. So it's just they're still making money. It's just they're flipping it the other way. Instead of making it straight through the prisons, they're making it through probations and parole officers.
Yeah, and I can't really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really... It's hard for me to argue a lot of there's still a lot of corruption that's going on, not only in the justice system and the private prison sector, but also in, you know, what do you call it? The financial sector. Yeah, the financial sector. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of corruption that's still going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's fucked up, right? Shit fucked up. It's fucked up, right? So for me, I can't focus on that. I can't do it. If you wanted to focus on all the negative shit that's going on in the world, I could literally write you a book that'll go. I can't do it, but we could write a book about the fucked up shit in the world that'll start right here, and the pages will go all the way up to this ceiling. But there are a lot of good things going on in the world too, and there's a lot of good opportunities. And so for me, the way that we deal with the suffering of life, right? Because it isn't like people are suffering more now than they were before. Mm-hmm. Motherfucking, like, remember in the coal, like, them motherfuckers in coal mines that work in coal mines, them niggas, the commute, they used to have to crawl in a space filled with bullshit ass dust. You know what I'm saying? And crawl a mile down into these tunnels. And that's just the commute to work. Imagine being a mailman in the 1400s, so, like riding 3 months to deliver these bullshit packages of mail that motherfucker might already be dead by this time. Like, it's life is full of suffering, so it's all about what we focus on. I would say
I agree to a certain extent. However, you got people in prison and jail that are innocent. They got to go through this every day. Mm-hmm. So people that want to focus on this, like, I have no issue with. I think that we do need a solution with this issue, and it's a multiple. It's not just one answer.
It's a three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional, heavily complicated answer, and one answer ain't gonna, like, the same way. Like, look, how do you fix the problem in black communities? Look, we've been doing Section 8 and these social programs for forever. Do they bring people out of poverty?
No.
Right. So you out here a comedian, right? You know what I'm saying? You making your money, you know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. Should you be responsible for paying people that's on Section 8, not only here, but whatever, Montana, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Should you be paying white people and black people Section 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, based off of your own taxes, you know what I'm saying? is it your responsibility? How much of a responsibility do you have to carrying people that some are working hard, some are not? You know what I'm saying? To facilitating these programs that aren't working.
That's a good question.
Man, it's fucked up.
That's a good question.
Because guess what? And especially as a lot of us black people tend to.
Are you a Republican?
Hell no.
Because
It seems like it, right? Like people ask me this all the time. I am. What's the name?
Can we say one thing though? Most black people are conservative people.
That is a fact.
We don't identify as Republicans. We are really conservative. So even if you were identified as a Republican, I wouldn't be mad about that. But to answer, go back to your question with like everything. I don't make enough money to support people, but I do think that the wealthy should help out with Section 8.
You don't make enough money to support people. What do you mean? What, like if you make $20,000 a year, so 30?
Yeah, I can barely. That's before taxes.
There you go. But if you make that, guess what? You supporting people.
I'm living in D.C.
I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just saying. Like at the end of the day, your taxes that are being paid is. So is it fair to you, because we are the classes that tend to get taxed the most? But
it's not fair to us. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right. So then who should? It's a complicated issue, and
I got one thing though.
Oh, go ahead.
With you and like just caring, like not focusing on like the stuff that's going on. I feel like as black men, we should focus on it. The reason is because easily we can get trapped in the system at any time.
You damn the fuck
so
right.
That's why I think about like
You're right
you can
about
easily
that.
You and your boys in a car.
Right.
You invite some stranger. He got some cocaine. All of a sudden you going to court. Got cocaine. 4 black dudes in a car. You in the system. Then you can't get a job once you get out. You struggling. You don't got no place to live. People don't want to fuck with you because you a felon now. And then you going back to prison just because you can't get a job. Like, I feel like we, as black men, we have to focus on this. Like, it's a necessity.
I think that, and that's why it's so important that you have both sides of the spectrum. That's why I am technically, I like to think of myself as an independent, and I'm in the middle. And a lot of times, it don't matter if a Republican, or let's say if a heavy conservative was right here, I would be arguing the same thing. I am a contrarian too, by nature. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But even if a Republican was right there, I would be spitting the same shit, because I think that the idea is that, look, we need liberals, right? We need liberals because liberals tend to focus on the downtrodden, right? And you need that. But that isn't the only element that you need. You also need the conservatives that some of the principles of conservatism is tradition, right? The idea of saving money, not just outwardly spending. You know what I'm saying? If both of y'all motherfuckers crazy liberal in your finances, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna be fucked up in the game. You need somebody that's in the background that's out here like, hey, that makes you, hey, look, I'm gonna watch the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure we ain't doing too much extra. But you also need that other person in a relationship that's like, hey, we can't just be doing the same shit every day. We need to take some chances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we need both of these sides of the spectrum in order to come to a common consensus, because at the end of the day, we're humans and we don't know how to fix everything. And the only way we figure out how to make things better is by having a dialogue between the two opposite opinions. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact, if all we did was have progressives and liberals run the world, we've had that. You know what I'm saying? We've had Marxism. You know what I'm saying? We've had socialism run amok. And we've had conservatism run amok. You talk about Hitler. You know what I'm saying? You could talk about this tradition, this strict idea on tradition and cleansing. We've had them on both spectrums. So we need this constant dialogue, and we can't demonize each other for having that dialogue. I can't come at you and be like, hey, man, all you doing is focusing on people that ain't like that's fucked up in the game, and you know, you're not even taking care of the fucking the shit that's going on right now. And you can't, and from another perspective, you can't just have somebody that's all the way not focusing on people who fucked up. You know what I'm saying? We need both of our dialogue in order to make this shit work.
That's why I think we need more than two parties. I think we should have enough
parties.
parties.
Yeah, man. Hell, we do. We need somebody in the middle.
The same way you have Netflix and how you have different genres and stuff. You want to watch action, drama, comedy, and just like different ones. That's how we need parties.
But all right. So I'm gonna segue into the part about like, let's say, how some of the current PC culture is affecting comedians.
Oh man,
Right?
let's talk about it.
Exactly. So when we talk about like people can be on this progressive agenda, but now it's the I feel like the joint has gotten tilted. We've tried to get away from racism so hard. This is racism. And now we like, all right, bet. And now we doing this.
It's too much, man.
Because at the end of the day, like, comedians are so important for the world. And that's why I really like, I have a lot of comedians on. Because like people like you know what I'm saying? People like all the comedians that come through. Y'all are supposed to be able to say the shit that we can't say in our everyday lives. But that we know y'all need to be able to say the most fucked up shit. Y'all need to be able to say whatever the fuck you want to do to make it funny.
Not necessarily fucked up, but keep it real.
I mean, fuck.
Just
whatever.
keep it 100.
Keep it real or keep it like. But all right. What's your? I'll say this. What's your idea on transgenderism in America?
I think that I hate this idea that transgender women feel like they shouldn't have to tell you that they're a transgender woman.
That's not progressive, sir. Are you a Republican?
No, I'm straight up. I want to know. My preference is I want to know if you were born as a female or you were born as Tom. Like I should be able to know that.
But the narrative, the narrative is if I'm I was born a female, so intrinsically I am a female. This is the narrative that's going on now. The narrative is that there's no differences between men and women, and that gender is a social construct.
That's your opinion. Not saying you specifically, but that transgender or the person that says that, that's their opinion.
That's a super progressive opinion.
Yeah, I mean, fuck that. My opinion is I have my preference of who I want to sleep with. And if I'm going to sleep with you, I want to know if you were born as Ashley or Tom.
And this is fair enough. But this is where the conservatives actually have some type of a point, because at the end of the day, once we start changing the guidelines for what's a man and what's a woman, then you can't act like there are going to be consequences of that. And and here are some of the consequences, right?
Right.
You're finding transgender athletes that are jumping in sports for women
and beating the shit out of them.
You got like what's her name? Valen Fox. She going to UFC. She ain't tell nobody that she used to be a man, and just whoop it. Hey, look.
We good though, because if it was a chick that turned to a man, we don't have to worry about that. But the other way around,
ain't that? But isn't that fundamentally fucked up? Like, and so President Trump was talking about. We talked about another joint. He was talking about classifying this, being very strict on classifying the sexes. Do you disagree with that?
No. I don't disagree. I agree with that.
That's a conservative position.
I mean, that's cool.
Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to be able to have these different. We need to be able to. We're all individuals. We need to be able to have opinions that don't necessarily run with our progressive truth.
They got this thing now where, like, if you're a transgender woman or man, you have to refer to them as they or them. Like,
or Z or Zer.
Like, that shit is crazy to me.
There's 70. Hey, look, Captain Bogus out there, Joe. But my man talking, he's spinning real shit in the background. Look, at the end of the day, like, they're making these other programs. They're trying to take linguistic power over shit going on, and it's like this is how the shit. When you allow some of this shit, when you allow motherfuckers to get to gain power, this is the bullshit that you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? You want to be as progressive and look out for as many people. And I'm not advocating any harm being done to anybody. Transgenders at the end of the day, like. I think that you should be able to live your life however you want to live it. I don't give a fuck whether you think that you motherfucking are
See, that's crazy though. That you even
a black and blue turtle. If you think that you're Squirtle, I don't give a damn. Live your life and put on a turtle shell on your back for the rest of your life. Live that. But that doesn't mean that society needs to change around your personal opinion of what you think you are.
Right.
I'm just saying that's just my personal opinion, but I think that that's a consistent opinion. Because at the end of the day, you see me. I walked through here. I came down, sat in the seat. I'm short as fuck. All right?
That's a fact.
If I think that I've always felt like in my heart that I should have been a tall ass nigga.
He's stupid.
But I'm gonna keep it 1,000. The world might not. Hey, I be talking to Monte. Look, the world wouldn't have been ready for me to be a tall ass nigga. I might be.
He's stupid.
Everybody gets in. Man, things happen for a reason. But at the end of the day, just because I feel like I'm LeBron James doesn't mean when I walk past you, you have to look up at me, or that's a hate crime because you don't look up at me. Or if I come to a comedy show, that you can't talk about me because I think that I'm LeBron James.
Right.
We need that freedom. It needs to be freedom of speech. It needs to be freedom for you comedians to be able to talk whatever shit that you... I don't give a fuck. If a comedian wants to come on the joint and say Heil Hitler and talk all this racist shit he wants to talk, he gonna get booed off the fucking stage.
Right.
But if he wants to do that, if he wants the platform for that, then let him do it. It's about free speech, and that's a cornerstone of the sovereignty of the individual, the idea of the West that the West has created. And so, like, I think that that's a really important term, because once we start censoring y'all, have y'all heard? I don't know. Do you perform on college campuses?
Nah, but I perform in D.C., which D.C. is the political correctness city.
Right.
In general. And even now, like, when I say bitch on stage, I can see women tighten up like, oh my God, he said bitch. Like, come on, yo. Only bitches get mad. That's the truth, man. I'm not... But it's like, man, for real, like, that's where, like, I agree with Trump to a certain extent. Is like, I like, we should be able to say,
agree with Trump.
No, there's certain things you can agree with somebody. You can have a friend that you agree with certain things, but some things you be like, oh, he's just crazy on that. And I think Trump, man, like, we should be able to say what we want to say, but we shouldn't be able to do things towards people that's hateful.
Well, then who defines, like, do things that are hateful? What do you mean by that? Because that is important. Like, I shouldn't be able to say things that are hateful to you.
I believe you should be able to say things that are hateful, but you shouldn't be able to
act
do
on
things.
them. But
right.
Yeah, we have laws against that. People can't assault you because people can't assault you, period. People can't kill you, period, without there being some type of repercussions for that, or at least, you know, that's the way the system is supposed to be set up.
I got this story for you, and I
Go
feel
ahead,
like
people, let's hear it. I want to hear it.
People are looking for a reason to be offended nowadays.
Oh God, Jesus! It's the oppression Olympics.
Exactly, and you know what? First, before I go into the story, they got this from black people. People literally looked at the black struggle and how our movement, and now they're trying to do the same thing. I was at this show, right? It was 3 black people talking. White dude walks up. He was like, what y'all talking about? Black girl was like, mind your own business, white boy. He walks away. He comes back. He's like, why you call me a white boy? This reverse racism. And it was like, mind your business. We talking. He walks away. He comes back. He's like, man, I'm a gay man. Like, you should be respecting me. Like, you coming against gay people. And, like, this homeless dude just walks out of the middle of nowhere. He's like, oh, wait up. Hold on. Looks like at the end of the day, it don't matter if you white or if you black. At the end of the day, you going to hell because you gay. And that was the funniest thing. But look, the point of the story is this dude wanted us, like, he mentioned that he was gay. Like, I don't know if you gay based off, like, just the way, like, some people are more flamboyant than others. Yeah, there's some gay niggas out here there's some big strong looking niggas out here that's gay. But don't tell me then you trying to make it that the issue, and if that was never the issue, you have that's going on. Like the whole thing about they said the gays is the new black. Like I hate that statement. I don't know, have you heard that before?
Yes.
Yeah, I hate that statement that's that they say, because it's definitely not the same thing. You can hide being gay, you can't hide being black.
Now this is the part where I have to talk about intellectual consistency, because if we're going to claim a lot of some of the narrative that we speak, then we can't, if we're linguistically, we can't sit up here and deny it to other people. So is there a flaw within the way that black people have tried to counter racism? Because if there is no flaw, then white people should be able to use it, or they shouldn't be. Like, they wouldn't be able to use it if our argument was intellectually consistent. But this is the part that I think that black people get wrong, right? This is the narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say this correct. I posted it on my Facebook earlier, but it was like you haven't had my experiences, so you cannot understand.
Mm.
But you need to understand because my experience is so important. Right? So those are two contradictory things that we tend to use. Like you ain't been there. You ain't been in the black struggle. You ain't been black, so you can't understand what I'm talking about. But you need to understand what I'm talking about when it comes to putting in legislation. You need to fight for this. You need to understand where I'm coming from so that you can feel and help the struggle where it's going. Those are two contradictory statements.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody inherently can't understand your situation because your experience is different, it's just like saying you're a woman, you can't talk about women's rights. You're not gay, you can't talk about gay issues. You're not black, you can't talk about black issues. You know what I'm saying? Cool. But then you can't say that these people should understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Because you just said that they can't understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
You can't say that they need to understand where you're coming from, but then say that they need to understand where you're coming from in order to change the way shit is.
Right.
And those are the intellectual inconsistencies that are perpetuated by the social justice movement that anybody can use. So I'm transgender. You can't understand where I'm coming from. So you can't talk about transgender rights. And that's the flaw in it. Just because I am not black, just because I am not gay, just because I am not whatever the fuck, transgender or binary or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that I can't understand your experience or I can't research and be well understood about the experience that you have just because I haven't lived your life. That's the problem, because what you're doing is you're excluding. You can't exclude and then expect people to understand at the same time.
Gotta be consistent.
And that's the the fact that some of our narrative has been intellectually inconsistent. It's been hijacked by other movements, and anybody could use these movements, no matter what. We got the binary movement where.
What?
You don't know the binary movement?
Nah.
All right, so the binary is like, look, I could be man earlier today. Later on at night, I feel like being a woman. I'm a woman. That is a real intellectual argument that people are making right now. And we can't, the reason why especially progressive activists can't argue with it and why they just let people come in on the coattails of that is because you can't even argue against it. If you're arguing that you don't understand this person's experience, if you're arguing that because I'm a minority, and technically they are. If you're a transgender, you are a minority. You're a heavy minority. You're like 1% of the population. So that we should not only understand your experience, but respect it and bring it to the forefront. This is what creates this oppression Olympics. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna like that's why these overall narratives are important, and conservatives tend to talk about that. Because if all we do is just focus on what's different about us and then use that as a way to either gain political clout or power, then we can't hate when the next person that's even more of a minority uses that.
It's scary, bro.
It's scary. It's real. It's fucking real. And that's why I like to because I'm not that smart. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just listen to what smart people say and I repeat it. Like I talk about this shit all the time. I'm not smart. I just listen to what smart people say and I repeat it. Because at the end of the day, I think that it's real important that we focus on individually trying to be the best person that we can be.
Okay. And
not use excuses to govern our lives. You know what I'm saying?
That's accountability.
and accountability, right? And I don't think it's right when anybody does it. I don't think it's right when black men say, "Hey, look, black women, son, if black women would get it together and just fuck with us, you know what I'm saying, then we could, you know what I'm saying, then we wouldn't have no issues." And I also hate it when women say, like, look, black men out here fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no job, It's a lot of factors for that. But like if you're blaming your position in life on somebody else, then that fundamentally is where I see the problem. Okay. You get what I'm saying? And that's just where I live. That's what allows me to get through the day. Because like I got real deep into this shit right before I started this podcast shit. I be driving the bus, so I have a lot of time to think. I can't be on the phone, none of that. So all I do is I think about like what's my purpose in life, like, and I was real deep on some of the black consciousness and the real black power shit, and all it left me feeling was really nihilistic about our situation, because I know ain't shit gonna change within my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And so, what am I focusing on? Why am I focusing on what other people aren't doing for me? When a friend, I give him some money and then he don't pay me back, like, you know what I'm saying? Whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? Is it his fault for not paying me back, or is it my fault for giving out money that I couldn't give out?
I don't think it's nobody's fault.
I think that is true. That is true. I do think that it's nobody's fault, but I do think that also that the way that you should govern your life is around taking as much personal responsibility as you can, and through that way you can find meaning, and that's what we all looking for, right? We're looking for a reason to fucking be here.
I agree with you on that, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's rough. Cause life, like, it don't matter whether you're white, black, Korean, fucking Laotian, whatever the fuck. Like, life is fucked up, right? For a lot of us, whether you got money or you don't. Who are the people that kill themselves most? It ain't people that's poor. It's rich people. Why?
They ran out of cocaine.
Well, they might have ran out of cocaine, right? That's one hypothesis. Or there's another hypothesis where now that all the things that people say that should make you happy, now that you have all those things and you're not happy, why are you living for? Maybe there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you face it, because at least when we in the struggle, we like, man, I just gotta get some money to survive. I'm just trying to survive. But it gives you a purpose, right? Right. But now you ain't got, like, you got money. You don't have no fight to survive. You don't need to fight to survive. All surviving is given to you. So then if you're still not happy and you're still not fulfilled with life, then what's the problem? You know? And so that's what I was finding in my life. Like, I could pay for the things that I wanted to pay for. You know what I'm saying? I could do the things that I wanted to do. I can go to trips to Jamaica. I can fucking, I had to work my ass off, but it's still at the same time I wasn't fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't fulfilled, and it's like, so then what's it all for? And I think that what's it all for is that, look, there's a lot of stuff about me that I wasn't handling.
You really are a conservative, bro.
Maybe.
Because the more you're talking about, you're really talking about conservative, smaller government, worrying about what's going on in your community.
I haven't necessarily said smaller government, but I do agree with.
But every day, just life to life, and worrying about what's going on.
Working about individual problems.
That's a conservative perspective.
There are a lot of conservative things that I agree with, as well as a lot of liberal things that I agree with. I think that we do also need to focus on. We shouldn't
legalizing weed.
I wish to God we could.
I thought that's what you was gonna say. I was like, I'm concerned.
If we could, I'm gonna keep it. Let me keep it a cold buck with you, Mr. Vaughn. I'm gonna keep it. If I could smoke weed, there would be no Hennessy on this table. There would be a fucking ounce of some good right here, and we would be just smoking our brains out until we finish the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the weed is legal here.
But I can't do it because I drive for Metro, so they didn't like. Yeah, so obviously everybody knows. You see me in there.
I feel like you gotta stop saying. You don't get in trouble for you saying that on here, and
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Saying what? Like, I mean, what? I just be keeping it a buck.
You say motherfucker, pussy, bitch, then I work for Metro.
Damn, nobody in Metro said motherfucker, pussy, bitch.
Yeah, that's funny. That says the Metro language.
Nah, I think because I don't have no clout right now. So hopefully by the time I get clout, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll make enough money to where I don't have to work. You know
just
what
need
I'm
that
saying?
one viral video. If you fuck up and say that one viral video, and then they find out you work for Metro,
They'll be on my dick.
Yeah.
They will be trying to shut my shit the fuck down. As much shit as I say men are men and women are women, I would be donezo.
I just you heard
I'd be done.
Funny.
And thank God for my little ass bony ass followers, bro. It's like, nah, I started from 30 followers, so I'm alright. You know what I'm saying? To be
grinding out here, bro. You doing your thing. You got a professional setup, consistent.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard the man say it, right? You heard him say it.
This means a lot, man. Like, you doing it. Just stay consistent. Keep putting in the work.
Yeah, man. You know, working hard. That's really what's. And the only reason I even came to this was because I came to the realization that nobody's gonna do nothing for me.
Right.
That's the whole kill. Like if I want to make something out of my life and find some meaning, then guess what? All right, Tim. Then guess what? Go apply for your business loan. Mm-hmm. Take a chance on yourself. Buy all the equipment if you want to do this shit. And guess what? And it's not gonna be for the clout or the fame. If I want the clout and the fame, then I would go about this a whole different way.
Bro, it's crazy that you just say that. So your boy over here, he was telling about this girl that do locks, right?
Yeah, Captain Bogus. What's going on? What Captain Bogus?
Girl named Sheeta. She put up a post today. She said the goal is to be booked, not popular. And that pretty much going with what you're saying, making your money, doing your thing.
That's true, man. My man Joe. I mean, you know, this man. I mean, he's the pretty boy of the group, you know what I'm saying? But you know, like he got his little big, got his hair done and shit. Look, let me take a pause real quick. This dude has lied about every shoe he's ever bought in his entire fucking life.
He's lied about it?
This what he say. Have you ever met niggas that be like, he walked through and he got brand new foams, right?
Uh-huh.
Have you ever met niggas that got shoes and they be like, man, I had this for years, cuz. I ain't just buy this. I had this for years. Lying ass bastard.
That's funny.
Why he be lying? I be like, son, let me examine the shoe. Ain't a bit of dust on it. Ain't no goddamn dust on this shit.
Ain't no dirt at the bottom.
Ain't no dirt. Hey, lift your shoe up, bro. Lift the bottom of your shoe up, cuz.
Ain't no dirt at the bottom.
Hey, Joe, man, look at that. Nah, keep it up, cuz. Keep it up.
They clean.
What nigga you known to have phones, bro? Real shit. What nigga you know to have phones for a year and the bottom of his shoe look like? Hey, Monte, point the camera on his shoes real quick, son. Hey, lift your shoe up. Lift your shoe up, Joe. Real shit. Y'all be the judge, bro. Lift your shoe up, bro. Lift it up. Lift it up. Look at that. What niggas? What? You tell me what phones look like that after a year, bro. Fuck out of here. Keep it clean. These nuts. He's a lying ass nigga.
He ain't never walk on Benning Road with them shoes.
Damn right. There we go. Facts. Fucking facts, man. That shit be real as shit. But yeah, man, like, look, at the end of the day, I knew for a fact that, you know, I had to do this shit. And same thing with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about you moved to a whole city area.
Right.
Like let me ask you, what even made you do that? Like, what made you jump out of Richmond and said, I just gotta take a chance on myself in a whole new city?
I know what I want to do. Man, I went to college, man. I went to college for like 2 minutes. And then I was like, this shit ain't for me, man. And I was just like when you really want to do something, you want to pursue it, you going to put everything you got into it. That's a fact. And like I said, I saw the legends that came out of D.C. I was sleeping in my car for real, to be honest with you, for like 3 months when I first moved to D.C. I was like, I got to be here. It's a better scene. I saw Heart of the City filmed out of here. So, like, it was TV shows come here. And I'm like, this is the place to be. And so I did that. And I finally got me a spot. And, like, I just been grinding it out, man. Like, I knew D.C. was a great place for comedy. And this is what I want to do.
Wow. What made you, like, because a lot of times what happens, especially with rappers or anybody in this entertainment field, it's like they go through this adversity and then they be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They give up. Like, you talking about like living out your car and really grinding out for 3 months. What kept you going through that time?
You gotta wake up every day and just think about it. What do I want? Like, you get to a point, man, you start thinking like, am I going crazy? Am I really crazy? Like,
That's a fact.
and then it was just like,
could you get pussy during those times?
hell nah. I mean, you could,
I mean, but you
you
could
need a
finesse it.
shower.
Oh yeah, you need a shower. Like you might
Yeah.
in a hotel, like you get a little short, like all right, we about to go to the telly real quick. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't understand.
That's real.
Sleeping in your car mentally fucks with you. Like you really like certain things you do. Like if you don't wake up every day, brush your teeth, put on lotion, stuff like that, make your bed mentally. Like that's stuff you need in order to be a normal human in today's world.
You need consistency, no matter what it is. Like
Right.
that's why having a job is so important. Like for me, like I have been out of work for like on some bullshit. Like they had me out for some bullshit. And
At the Metro?
Yeah, like I keep it a buck. Like so, like I had I take Adderall, right? So I've been
Okay.
going to therapy for like probably like 7 months now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so like I've been talking about my problems. I have a psychiatrist, a psychologist, all of this, because I really wanted to get to some of the core problems that I was dealing with, and I wanted to be a better person.
Okay.
However, I can be that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I started taking Adderall to kind of help with my ADHD. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I had been turning my paperwork in the Metro and into the clerk. Somebody ain't turned it in. Then I went to a FTA fucking drug screening. And then they found amphetamines in my and so, but I had a prescription, so I ain't get put out. I could have got put out for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I had a prescription, so they was like, well, you still violated, so that would have been 2 months. But even that little process, I mean, two weeks. You know what I'm saying? But even that whole process took like a month, and that shit fucked my whole finances up. Like I've been fucked up in the game. Like I'm just getting back to work, which it don't get me wrong. Like I've been busting this goddamn podcast shit out the fucking water, but
You ain't been Ubering?
I could I just can't do that to my car.
Uber Eats.
I can't do that to my car,
I was an
bro.
Uber Eats driver.
You understand? Like, look, the whole reason I bought the Kia was so it could last long enough so I could give it to my daughter. If I goddamn put 100,000 miles on my shit, you know what I'm saying?
You could rent a car though.
Nah, I mean, but you could have, but they're not letting you do it as much in this area as they used to.
But you succeeded anyway.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, you make it through, but during those trials and tribulations, I start to realize how I miss work.
Right.
Just because I had a reason to get up in the morning, like, consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit was, like, fucking sweet. I mean, it gave me a sense of what I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, we all need that. We need something that's consistent. And if you aren't a person, you might be a person that could just get up and get your coffee and be productive for the rest of your day. I'm not that person. Like, I need some type of structure in order to orient my life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, getting back to work feels a lot good. You know, like, even though I have as much time as I used to, but still, it feels a lot better. And like, that's why I envy people like, you know, like yourself. Like, well, I don't know if are you all in comedy?
Yeah, like I jump full in. So what I've done is I make sure I book gigs. I try to make a certain amount of money each month. Start trying to book acting work now, and like I'm 100% straight entertainment. That's all I do.
And the part that people don't even get to see is that like you have to dedicate a certain amount of time to perfecting your craft.
Right.
That means you got to sit down and write and talk to these jokes. You know what I'm saying? Say these jokes before you go ahead and put them into the crowd.
Like tonight, I'm gonna do 3 to 4 shows, just working out material.
Where you gonna be at, man? We ain't got shit to do. We drunk.
This ain't gonna be funny. This gonna be. I'm gonna warn you. This gonna be. I'm working out.
Right? No. I understand. Yeah.
So like tonight, I'm gonna be in DC. I'll be at the Big Hunt in DuPont. I'll be at Beer Baron. I think that's in DuPont too. And then Adams Morgan. I'll be at Club Heaven and Hell.
You gonna be at Club Heaven and Hell on a Friday doing comedian shit?
Yeah.
We gonna step in. Hey, look, you can fly us in. Look. We got
fly
bogus. We got bogus. We got. Hey, Joe, what's bogus? What's Monte name?
Wild Bill.
Yeah, we go. We got bogus and Wild Bill. That's his new name. He gonna switch it up. A1 cameraman / wild ass Bill. Oh wait, wild ass sensitive Bill, right? Sensitive Bill. It's like nah, but yeah, we would love to come through on a lot of that shit, man. Like that's a beautiful thing, man. Like for you to be, you know, to be all in on your craft, and you know you got to spend time working on your shit. You got to like as far I follow comedians. I listen to a lot of their podcasts and things, and a lot of things they talk about is like they need that in between time to be able to try out jokes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See how they mesh. Because even when you might think they funny, when you saying it to yourself, but you got to see how the crowd feel.
Like tomorrow, I'm in Danville, Virginia. I'm headlining. Got to do 40 minutes. And like that's why I'm working on some material tonight before I go out tomorrow, just to make sure it's decent.
Hey, look, and any nigga who's been to a comedy show with niggas who don't fucking get their material together, and then you got 40 minutes, that shit is a fucking chop. Yeah. That shit's a death mark. Like, especially when a nigga basically had 7 minutes of material, and now he winging the rest of it.
That's funny.
Look, so you don't know niggas like that?
Yeah.
Well, we ain't saying no names. I'm just saying, like,
there's a lot of comedians that do that.
You got 7 minutes of material, then you winging the rest, and for the crowd, we just be like, oh god, bro.
Especially a black crowd. Black crowd don't play. They're like, get to the punchline, man. Come on.
Tell me a story. I feel like hearing that's for me. I want to hear a story.
Yeah.
I would like to hear.
I think the story's more fun anyway.
The story is more like that's the joke.
Yeah, 100.
That's the joke. You can't just come up and you can't. You can't just come up in.
You gotta welcome a nigga,
bruh. You can't just come up in the scene and say, how many bitches on birth control?
Oh, yeah. That's some
that shit funny as shit. Hell yeah, hey yeah. But yeah, man, where y'all from out here, man?
Yeah. It sound like y'all don't be going to professional shows, man. Y'all be going to your homeboy show.
We go to professional shows. I go to professional shows.
Okay.
Who's
the last big time comedian you seen?
Lil Duval.
He's funny as fuck.
He's an animal.
Yeah. Have you seen Jay Ski, his opener before?
Of course.
He's from Richmond.
He is though. Before Jay Ski, the nigga, like Joe seen him. Like when we went to we saw him at the Baltimore Laugh Factory,
Comedy Factory.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we went up there seeing Jay Ski, and then I went back and seen him. I seen him when who went? Did you come with me when I went to the DC Improv? Nah, I went with this girl. Okay. But I went with this. Like I seen the joint, and like Jay Ski's a funny ass nigga, and he also has a earthquake. But no, maybe not earthquake. This nigga with a big ass knot in his head. Bald head nigga. I can't remember. But like Lil Duval, like you talk about, this is a nigga who motherfucking has obviously 20 plus years in the game, and you could tell because it just sound like he fucking around up in there. And that's how you could tell. Like that's what I want to get with this podcast. Is like I've really like been looking at my interviews, and I be like, damn, son, I be stuttering like shit sometimes. Damn, like I don't be carrying like, or sometimes I be feeling like, and maybe I did it today. I'm trying to get better. Like I don't like I be having issues like sometimes where I feel like I'm interrupting my guests a little bit. And what I'm trying to do is kind of prevent the dead space in the conversation. But I do see where, and Joe has talked about it with me as well, like where like, like maybe I'm talking too much, you know what I'm saying, where people might want to hear what, you have to say, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really, because I've built my podcast, I'm not trying to be an interview guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do like having conversations with people, you
right.
know what I'm saying? So I don't really know how to play it really just yet, but I don't want to not let people say their piece, you know what I'm saying? And so, you probably seen that in the interview where I just kind of jump in the mix like, and so, yeah, fucking trannies and big wow, like, yeah. Like, but I'm working on it though. I really am
just
trying to
experience, man. Like, even like me stand up, it's just the more you do it, the better you're gonna get.
Absolutely. But not even just the more you study yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What's it, Sway?
Sway. I mean, he's a legend.
He's been doing it for a while, so I'm pretty sure he didn't start 2-3 years in and was the Sway.
The greatest, right? I've been doing this for probably like 8 months. I've always had Charlemagne, like like especially I've had a little incident. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if we're gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Monte said speak on it. But like, look, so I had an incident. You know what I'm saying? Where I had somebody on my show that was talking bad about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And of course, he had some. Oh yeah, go ahead. Hey, look, You got the Hennessy, son. You good, bro. But like I've had a situation on the show where I had somebody that was in here and he was speaking his mind.
Okay.
Now his mind was talking shit about some of the other comedians that I've had on the show or some people that I haven't had on the show.
Okay.
Then I had motherfuckers that like when I posted it, like I'm over here, I'm trying to decide whether I'm gonna post it because it was so controversial. But I was like, I'm a platform. I was thinking at the end of the day, man, fuck that shit. Plus I was drunk. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, hey, look, Monte was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, Captain Big Wild was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wild Bill. Right, my bad. Wild Bill. So, motherfucking, I was like, man, fuck that shit. Then I had a nigga jump in my DM off at 6 o'clock in the morning. You got 60,000 followers. Mm-hmm. And so you paying attention to my little shit. And then you motherfucker jumping in my shit talking about, you a bitch. You motherfucker, your podcast ain't popping. And I was like, well, number one, it wasn't me who said it. Number two, was he lying? Because if he was lying about you, then I'll take it down and I'll post some shit, show me some proof, and I'll put it up. Nah, fuck that. Y'all niggas ain't getting no money. And then this is the problem with the getting the money. Number one, I don't value money. I don't value money like that. You said what? Oh, all right? Okay, we good. We good on that. But like I done had situations where it was like I was like, son, like what the fuck? What are we talking about here? Like you got beef with him, like so what the fuck? Why do you have an issue with me? And so he was like, y'all niggas ain't getting no money and shit like that. And I was like, well, number one, obviously I make more. All right, I'm not trying to cite shit, but like everybody know what bus drivers make. Like we make dumbass amounts of money for the dumbass shit we do. Like we talking about 100K. You know what I'm saying? So I know you ain't making the money that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You posting videos in your grandmother's house. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't want getting back and forth with the money type shit. But I'm like, bruh, at the end of the day, bruh, like.
I thought you was gonna say it. First of all, thank you for the view.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. But I was like, the fact that you coming at me, this kind of makes it seem like you was wrong off the break.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it is what it is. I ain't really trying to beef with nobody. Cause I don't give a fuck about no beef. Like, cause what am I beefing for? Like, I don't have no issue with you. He does.
Right.
You can beef with me on my platform, which is little as shit, but you know, I have vicious content. I challenge anybody in DMV who got content like me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, you know.
And that person can come on your platform as well and defend herself.
But why you can't defend yourself if you know you wrong?
Then.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you shitted a nigga out some bread and you wasn't right.
Yeah.
You could come on and apologize.
Right.
But if he got proof that you shitted him out some bread.
That's your fault.
What do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it, but at the same time, I was like, damn, son. Like, so a lot of these comedians, like a lot of people I be saying, like, they be sensitive for real.
Oh, comedians are very sensitive people.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Very.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very sensitive about their craft. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect it. You know
Probably the most sensitive.
Right. I can respect it. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not trying to get in your pockets, cuz. But, like, at the end of the day, if you out here shitting on niggas, like, that ain't me that's saying it. If he lying, then prove he lying.
Right.
So
it ain't on you.
It ain't on me, man. But so let's talk a little bit more about what you got going on tonight, man. So you said that you got I heard the part you got Heaven and Hell, but let's
I'm gonna go to Heaven and Hell first. I'm gonna go up there, do some time, then I'm gonna head over to Beer Baron, which is in DuPont Circle. Then I'm gonna head over to the Big Hunt in DuPont Circle and do some time there. 3 shows tonight, working on some material, trying to build up my act, man. Trying to get this 45 minutes tight so I can start headlining everywhere, clubs and stuff like that.
That's lit, man. That's lit. And so this comedy shit is you all in.
Yeah, all the way in. No going back now.
That shit is real, man. You got any kids?
Hell no. Not yet. Not yet. One day I'll do one too, though.
I mean, yeah. Ain't no girl gave you that call yet, so you know what I'm saying? You don't know.
Do you ever be thinking about that? You might have one out there that you don't know about.
I done been dealing with that shit since I was about 19, bro. I don't even, unless like you gotta show me some results. You gotta show me. I have one daughter, bro. Like
She gonna have your nose, your face.
Like, if you seen my daughter, bro, like my daughter looks schmizzack like me. So it's like.
I think it depends on how you show the results. Like we got to do it private. You can't go on Maury, and then you find out I'm the father, and you start twerking. That'll make me mad.
Hey, look, I'm gonna read you this post real quick that I posted on my shit. That shit was fucking funny as shit, bro. Like so like motherfucking it said, all right, so it said it's my body. Like, all right, so this is one perspective, right? This is kind of the feminist perspective. This Jennifer Lawrence said that, you know, she be jumping on the progressive train, true. Mm-hmm. She was like, it's my body and it should be a choice. And the fact that it's not my choice is absolutely disgusting. Right? Mm-hmm. And so then we talk about a judge, well, not Karen DeCrew. I don't know. I'm fucking her name up. But she says, if a woman makes a unilateral decision to bring a pregnancy to term and the biological father does not and cannot share in this decision, he should not be liable for the 21 years of support. Autonomous women making independent decisions about their lives should not expect men to finance their choice.
Right.
What you think about it?
I agree.
There's a lot of facts in that, bro.
I agree.
A lot of facts.
And you needed a woman to say that too.
I know, right? You did. You really fucking did, bro. Because at the end of the day, if you can't, like, that's one of the biggest problems I have with, like, some of the feminist movements is, like, you can't claim that you're completely independent and autonomous and then not have the responsibility that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that I am woman, hear me roar, I don't need nobody, and then when you choose a person to deal with, then say, oh, men are fucked up because men are fucked up. You had the choice of dealing with that person. Same thing with us. Mm-hmm. You have the choice of bringing people in your life.
Right.
You don't, and unless somebody forced you and kidnapped you and did big wild shit. Like, people be hating on their baby fathers as if you didn't let this nigga nut in you. That's my whole kill. If you didn't let a nigga, if he raped you or some shit like that, then get that nigga out the way. Right. But if you let the nigga nut in you, you can't go back and then complain about what the fuck he is now. I don't give a fuck. Oh, he ain't show that. Well, then you made a mistake in your choice. Right. Don't blame nobody else for that. The same way that niggas can't blame their choices on their baby mother. You decided to have a baby with her. You skidded in that. You did. Right. Take responsibility, my nigga. Take responsibility, my woman. Like, at the end of the day. So yeah, man, we out here, we out here judging it. So look, man, I agree with you 100% on that. That shit real, man. But that's kind of conservative, man. So niggas need to watch out for you. Hey, look, they gonna come. The progressive gonna come to your motherfucking shit.
I'm cool with that, man. Like,
have you had any hecklers before?
Not any hecklers, but I can see a lot of people facing the crowd like that don't agree with my perspective. Like I told you, when I say bitch, like you see the way people look at it, and it's like, you gonna disagree. You're not gonna agree with everything. You didn't agree with everything that your parents did. So why do I expect you to agree with everything that I say?
There we go, man. Hey, look, I want to appreciate you coming through, man. This was a lovely conversation, man. Like, we got to do more of this, man. And, you know, when you shoot to the top, you know what I'm saying, you make sure that Tempo Pod TV helped that. You know
Hell yeah.
It's like, nah, like, look. But, like, at the end of the day, man, I really appreciate you for coming through. I love the work ethic that you got putting through. You really put a lot of time into your craft. And
same for you, man. I like what you got going. You and your boys, man, y'all stay together, man, on the way to the top.
That's a fact, man. You got to build a team.
Stop smoking blunts on the bus, though. Y'all,
hey, look. Hey, boy. Hey, look. That's cameraman, a.k.a. Wild Bill. But, yeah, man. Hey, look. This was another episode of the Tempo Show, man. We going to holler at you, man. DMV Speaks. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
This